So, little disclaimer before anything. Everything I say in this video is accurate up to the point of me making this video. This is just more so just like a little bit of information about the difference between hacked and gen, because there is always like some kind of discrepancies and like little issues and all this other stuff. And this is more so just to kind of address some concerns I've seen based on like what people have asked me, what I've seen people say, and stuff like that. So I'm going to get started. So what is a gen Pokemon? So a gen Pokemon is something that is not like legit. Not you didn't breed this, you didn't catch this legitimately, and you basically use like outside resources, namely like PKX. PKX is a great program for like save editing the Pokemon games and stuff like that. But if you created a mod through that and it is legal, then it is gen. And this is where the confusion kind of happens. Then what is a hacked Pokemon? A hacked Pokemon is something that is created via PKX or whatever, outside of resources, that is illegal. And so you might be thinking, well, they're both created from PKX. So why is it fit? So why aren't they all viewed as hacked? And it's because the very reason why you're watching this video is because of that clarification. I mean, so if we sat there and said that everything made from PKX was hacked, what does that connotation automatically create? When people hear the word hack, they automatically think of something bad. So the reason why we have to say hacked and gen a lot of times is because it's to not scare people, and because it's to kind of like soften the blow for the uninformed, or misinformed. Because I see a lot of people, they're like, a lot of people that push that narrative of like, oh yeah, if it's gen and like they refer to anything gen as hacked, they're usually the same ones who push this whole thing of like anything's gonna get you banned, and like they're usually very anti-genning, anti stuff like that. I mean, like I can like talk about this one video, which a lot of people like wanted me to respond to. Like he's very anti-genning. So everything that doesn't fall into his frame is hacked. I mean, it's just a lot of misinformation in regards to like ribbons. If it's 6 IVs, and it's more so speculation rather than fact. And so a lot of stuff like that, which is just sending out misinformation, rather intentionally or unintentionally, it doesn't really help anyone. All it does is create fear and just misinformation, and a lot of fear and misinformation is what creates a lot of hate within the community. But that's why we kind of make that distinction to soften the blow for you guys. It's not us trying to misrepresent anything. It's just that a lot of people are just really uninformed. And when people think hacked, they think something bad, and they think bans. And again, as of the time I'm making this video, there is no record of anyone getting banned for legally genned mods. There really isn't any record of people. Okay, well, let me correct that by saying people have been banned for illegal mods, illegal hacks. Yes, that has happened. And for the distribution of illegal hacked mods, mainly, if you see my previous videos, mainly for home drops, which people were trying to go around the in-game trade filter, which was blocking certain mods. People were dropping and logging into other people's home accounts and dropping stuff that way. And so that was one of the reasons why there were bans for illegal mods. But you won't find people getting banned for legal gens. But you hear people all the time, they'll say, yeah, I mean, if you use a gen mod online, then you're gonna get banned. Which is usually false, because the thing is, like, usually if you got something genned online, you got it either via trade or like surprise trade or link trade. And which, I mean, a lot of people don't seem to realize when they say these statements, when you're doing that, you're online. You've already passed through the trade filter in the game, which some people don't seem to really connect those dots, that like when you say, oh, yeah, you don't use this online, you're going to get banned for something that you received by being online. It's kind of a statement that defeats itself, essentially. So when people say stuff like that, it really doesn't make any sense. Like people will say like, don't use stuff you got from Surprise Trade online, you're gonna get banned. And I'm like, Surprise Trade, for it to work, you had to be online and you weren't banned when you received it, because the game does have its own legality checker. It's not great. It really is far from great. Like things like the shiny Galarian birds, like shiny Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, those pass through the legality checker of the game. You don't have to go through any extra hoops or ladders to make them pass. They pass for some reason. And there's other things like that that should technically not be able to pass through that still pass. Why? We don't know. It's just the fault of the hack checker. Like you can even, and I'm not encouraging this, but you can even use like shiny Galarian Zapdos in ranked. No consequence. People probably record you, call you a hacker, but there's been no consequences of those so far because the game deems it as legal. But stuff like a shiny Zacian or shiny Zamazenta, those will be what we will consider hacked, because the game will block it from being traded. You'll see the problem. Yeah, there's a problem, blah, 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 and not allow it to be traded. And those are what we would consider hacked because it's illegal. It's illegal, normally illegal. Only way to trade these are through very illegitimate means. I mean, not saying that PKX is illegitimate, but like only way you can really trade them is through like when hacked raids were a thing, or via like home drops, or doing things trying to go around the link trade filter in the game. So stuff like that. So that's why we kind of have that distinction, because there are, I mean, people have been banned for illegal mods. Like that's why you see in my streams and stuff like that, I don't like people trying to talk about and trade for things that are like shiny locks and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, you'll see me post my videos of like hatching shiny locks and stuff like that in eggs, like hatching legendaries. But these are in my game, and these are in my game. I accept the consequences of how I conduct my game. But the whole distinction between Gen and hacked is more so for the benefit of the community at large in regards to putting out accurate information. Because again, like I said, they both, even though they come from the same point, they both diverge. Gen, legal; hacked, illegal. But they came from that source. And like, again, the only reason we make that distinction is for the benefit of the misinformed and the uninformed. And yeah, people can say, well, you're misinforming people by not telling them they're hacked. I mean, not really, because if we sat there and tried to make that blanket statement, hacked, what ends up happening is they automatically have that negative connotation, and they start to believe that anything that comes from PKX is going to get them banned, because that's that negative connotation, and it just furthers the narrative of people who are anti-genning and anti-hacking and stuff like that. Like the Pokemon Sword and Shield Reddit is a cesspool of misinformation. They blacklist people who have like genning servers and say that we're gonna get people banned and all this other stuff. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure at one point I was on some kind of list, a blacklist, is like a bad person in the community who's gonna get people banned, which is not true, but they use that big following and they get people to kind of, it goes with like bigger following, people listen to you more and stuff like that. Like I've even had another group, it's a fairly large group, about 50, 60K. This was even before I started back genning again for Sword and Shield. I mentioned that I used to gen. They banned me immediately. But they were allowing people to post fake videos saying that they got banned. But me just saying that I used to gen, I got banned immediately. I probably have the screenshots on my phone somewhere. And it's just like, it's a clear like abuse of like power, and knowing that you have like some form of influence to push this narrative of like, you're going to get banned for all this, and like Jenners are doing all this bad stuff like that. And it's just like, that's a conversation for another day. But this was mainly just kind of just pointing out the difference between gen and hacked. I will definitely make a video about like legal, illegal, stuff like that. Just kind of make a clarification, even though, I mean, gen and hacked kind of does still hit those same points. But yeah, if you guys got any questions, I mean, let me know in the comments. I mean, try to keep everything civil. But you guys have a good, like, subscribe, share this to spread the accurate information. If you think I've said anything wrong, I mean, definitely let me know in the comments. But other than that, you guys have a good day.